All right, joining me now on the CCHA show is St. Thomas junior forward Cooper Gay. Cooper, thanks for coming on and talking some Tommy's hockey this afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Perry. Appreciate it.
Cooper, you guys, you're one of the first classes, I guess you could say, to go to be a first-year player with the Tommies in their first year Division One. Can we kind of go back to that? You played at Benilde locally here. You're from Minnesota. You get some juniors experience. Get a chance to play at Fargo with the Force there, but it's kind of what was your college hockey, your amateur hockey, youth hockey background like that kind of led you to the Tommies?
Yeah, so I grew up in St. Michael, which is about 45 minutes northwest of the cities here, and played in St. Michael until I was in 6th grade. Then I moved to Benilde as a 7th grader, played in the choice hockey, which is a part of Minnesota Made. Did that until I was a 9th grader. Then I went to Minneapolis, played in Minneapolis for a year. Then I ended up at Benilde. Sophomore year, I was on JV, and then junior and senior year, I was on the varsity team. And then I was tendered to the Minnesota Magicians coming out of high school, made Omaha out of training camp, and then was there for a little bit. And then COVID happened and shut everything down. So a lot of those college guys came back. So I got pushed down, and I actually ended up playing for St. Cloud in the Null for around half the season. Then after that, went to Fargo, committed when I was in Fargo, and landed here at the St. Thomas. And it's been great ever since. St. Thomas was kind of interesting just because my mom's side of the family, I think for the last 3 generations, everyone's went here. So it was kind of cool when I got the opportunity to play Division One here. So it was a good surprise that happened, which kind of we found out that they were going D1 when I was first year junior player, I think. And so right then it kind of spiked to the top of my list, like being close to home. And then I found out Rico was a coach and heard great things about him too. So it's kind of a no-brainer at the end of the day.
Very cool. So some good luck involved, right? The timing of everything to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You've had some teammates that have kind of come back home to Minnesota, as you could say, right? Some guys that have played elsewhere, Colorado College, other places in the country. What's that been like for them, especially because they're all been upperclassmen to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. They love it, I think. I mean, Foley and Ray both live at home, so it's nice for them. They get to hang out with their families, and they're playing in the same rink right now that they played in high school, which I'm sure is bringing back some nostalgia for them, which for me it would be good. So I don't know exactly how they feel, but I think they're happy. They're happy to be here. They've bought into our program and our standard that we're setting, and they're just pumped to be here and start going on this thing.
Absolutely. We'll get to your new arena a little bit here, but it's coming up next year for you guys. For yourself, you're a big kid, 6'4". Like, when did your kind of growth spurt happen for the most part? Because a lot of kids, there's one summer or one season that you really kind of grew up.
Yeah. So my sophomore year of high school, I think I was standing about 5'11", probably 180, something like that. And then that summer going to junior year, I got to like 6'2" over one summer, which was crazy growth spurt. Leaned out a bunch, was still 180. Senior year, I grew again to 6'3", and then I actually didn't end up at 6'4" until my second year of juniors, which was crazy. And then since I've been here, I've started bulking out a little bit, so it's been good. So
awesome. Yeah, I'm always curious because some kids, they whether it's right in the middle of the recruiting process or later on, they're like, wait, you're 6'6" now, like you're some of these kids, so it's crazy.
So
absolutely. What is this? Now you're in your 3rd year here. Do you feel like you're one of the the leaders? I know that Rico talks a lot about the the different leadership groups and different aspects of your job is maybe specific to a certain part of the game or a certain part of off the ice. Where do you feel like the leadership is on this team? Lucas Wallen is your captain, but I'm sure it's spread out.
I mean, Lucas does a fantastic job at leading the guys, and just going into this year, I kind of knew my role as an assistant captain would just be lead by example and not vocally, which I'm perfectly fine with. I love it. So just showing up to the rink every day and just working hard and doing all the right things that fit into our identity. And so I kind of let Lucas just take the reins with the vocal stuff and talking to the guys, and it's been good. I just say I feel like a leader just in the sense that our class, we only have 2 like seniors right now and a couple grad students. So our class, like that leadership role kind of fell onto us at a pretty early stage. And I mean, you saw Lucas last year was a captain. And so it kind of feels like I'm a leader. It still feels like I'm a little young and got a lot to learn in being a captain and things like that. But I'd say like it definitely feels like the leadership role definitely fell on our class as a whole.
Yeah, you can kind of tell, especially even last year, a lot of sophomores and yourself included, part of this kind of program on the rise, right? So you had to kind of take on those roles earlier, maybe than other places where the Division I team was established for a number of years.
Yeah, 100%.
So for you guys, last year you had such a tremendous kind of middle of the season. I know your injury notwithstanding, a lot of injuries on this team, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys. I mean, it's. I'm sure it was devastating to see that, but you still had a great year as a whole. How do you kind of? I know at the time, I'm sure it stings a lot more, but how do you look back on last season as a positive?
I mean, I made a lot of jumps in my game, I think, from my freshman year to my sophomore year. And then, like you said, the injury kind of messed some things up that I thought was going to happen with like us going deeper into playoffs. And I would just say like the positive is that I'm like back from it and I like got through it and just like helped me grow as like a individual outside of hockey too. Like not putting so much into like, oh, I'm not going to be able to play instead of just being there for the boys. And I think that honestly helped me be a better leader too, is just showing up at the rink even when I was hurt. It like gave the guys kind of a spark, I'd say.
That's great. No, I know from talking to players who have had injuries, season-ending injuries. It's tough to watch your teammates play without you, especially when you're having the success you were having specifically, scoring goals, and they're coming in bunches. 4-game winners, I think, is a school record for you last year. Yeah. Anything else you kind of take away from the season as a whole? Maybe not just the injury, but everything else.
I mean, I think as a group, we made a huge jump. Kind of put ourselves on the map, I'd say, last year. And I mean, the coaches poll at the beginning of the year, we were ranked first in the CCHA. And I think that shows a lot of like where we're going, but also like where we've been. I mean, this program's only been around for 4 years and we're already getting to the top of our conference, which is awesome to have happen. And I think last year was just kind of a check mark on where we're going to go kind of thing.
To this year, and you guys maybe a little disappointed the St. Cloud game. You had your chances and it was a 1-0 loss there, but a big bounce back against a team, Vermont, that a lot of fans remember last year. You guys went out there. You're playing good hockey, I think, before you went out there, and you kind of laid a couple of eggs. Was it good to kind of get some redemption this season?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, we were talking about that the whole week. All the returning guys were like, remember what happened last year? Like, we got to get like our revenge on this. Like, we got to show everyone like that was just like a bad weekend for us. And I think Friday night we came out a little slower than we'd like to, I think, but we came back, which is something that we didn't honestly do. Like when I was a freshman or sophomore, like come back from losing in the third. And so that just shows like our group, like how much of a presence that we can, like our juniors, how much of a presence that we can have and like come back from that. And then Saturday night we came out and we played our style of hockey, which was what Coach Blassie kind of talked about on Saturday morning, just like stick to our standard, play how we play. And we came out of there with a win, which was awesome to have. And St. Cloud, I mean, just didn't get some bounces, but we have them in the second half of the season. So hopefully we can get one on them. So
very cool. You guys, you're off this weekend. The Tommies are, but a fun one looms ahead. I know you guys had a chance to play in this last year when the Tommies host University of Minnesota at the XL Energy Center. You also get a chance to play, I think it's you play at Mariucci, I think, first this time around. But what was that experience like? I know it was a more fun game at the X, so you guys went to OT, but that I think, how much did that game kind of set up the rest of your season, do you think, last year and now into kind of snowballing a bit maybe into this year?
I think that last year when we played them at the X and we were winning in the third period and then we went into overtime and ended up losing, I think the fact that we were winning, it gave us like, we can do this. Like it kind of gave us like a spark that we could do what we set our minds to. And like going into that weekend, our thought process was we're getting 4 points from these guys. Like we're taking both games. And so it was nice to just kind of see that like we could do that. Obviously some things happened in overtime that we wish we could have back. But this year we have the same mindset that we want to take both games from them. And I mean, the XL Energy Center was awesome. I think there was like 13,000 people there, which was really fun. I never got to play at the X in high school, never made the state tournament. So that was a first for me, and it was awesome. And even playing at Mariucci was a good atmosphere too. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. A couple of big time barns there. And, you know, the X, I mean, I'm sure it's fun. The locker room, everything you got, you know, it sounded like you guys, your fans outnumbered the Gopher fans on that
Yeah,
night.
it was
I was
nice
there.
to see,
yeah.
Nice to see the whole school come out. Obviously right now it's hard with Mendota Heights being 15 minutes away from campus, but I hope with the new rink, like that was kind of just like a preview of like when we get our new rink built here, like every game is going to be like that, which will be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's one of the, you know, the perfect size. You guys went to Augustana last year, right?
Yep, we went to Augustana, so
that's a pretty good preview too, I think, of what the atmosphere is going to be like.
100%. So
that means the Tommies are coming, or the Vikings are coming to your place this year. I haven't had a chance to ask any players this yet, and we have a couple minutes left here. What are your thoughts on the Augustana, you know, playing for the McNaughton and having a chance to, you know, going to points percentage? I'm sure you guys don't think about that a lot, but having another team in the league, and what do players kind of think on that?
I mean, I'd say like obviously it's getting a little different than last year. Obviously, with now that it's based off the points percentage, like you said, I think like we all welcome Augustana into our league, and like we're happy that there's another team that can compete for it. Just ups our conference, and like we've already seen it. Like they went into Ralph and beat North Dakota 4-1. I know it's exhibition, but still, like that's huge for the CCHA especially, and it just shows that like we can compete with any of the top teams in the country, I'd say. So it's good to have them in our conference, and they're definitely going to be a good opponent coming down the road here.
Very cool. And just finally, you know, other than the X and getting to play the Gophers, what are some of the things that maybe on or off the ice you look forward to on the St. Thomas schedule? You know, it's a great campus. I drive by it all the time. You know, you get a chance to walk. Great area. You know, just what, you know, what to me to be a Tommy, what is it to kind of get some insight into that?
I mean, it's an awesome school, beautiful campus. Can't get over how pretty it is here, especially right now in the fall when all the leaves are changing colors. Construction going up on South Campus with the new rink, which is awesome. I kind of walk by there every day to get to my apartment. So it's going up pretty quick, which is good to see. But no, I just say like great academics, great hockey, obviously, kind of a no-brainer for anyone who wants to do well on the ice as well as off the ice further down the line. But yeah, I'd just say like for our schedule specifically, like I'm excited to go to Lindenwood. I haven't been there yet, and I have a couple buddies on that team too, which will be fun. I know my roommate can't wait too. Cage, he transferred, so he's excited for that one. And I always like going to Bowling Green, so Bowling Green's a fun time. So
that's it's probably one of the longer road trips you guys have, huh?
Yeah, it's a longer one, but it's a good atmosphere to play in, especially when all their students come. So
the slate is fun for sure.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you, are there any more Leylands left to come over here or no?
There's one more coming, Bodie. So yeah, but he's also a really good player, so defenseman. So not like his brothers, but he's a great player.
It was cool to see those two hook up for a goal, though, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, I talked to Casey after that game, and I was like, that's something like you're gonna remember for the rest of your life, is passing your brother the puck in your first college point with your brother is something that not many people get to experience. So he was super pumped up about it too. So.
It looked like it. It looked like it on the ice.
Yeah, it was awesome. So,
all right, Cooper. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes to step aside, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Perry. Appreciate it.